Alright, what up YouTubers? Ken here from Dyslexic Investor, and we're going to do something slightly different. So Robinhood, if you don't know this, has the 100 most populated stocks within their app, which I find quite intriguing. So what we're looking at today, we're going to look at the top 10 holdings. So we got Aurora Cannabis, Ford, GE, Microsoft, GoPro, Fitbit, Apple, Disney, Snap, and Cronos Group, which I think is also marijuana. And then you got, that's just the top 10. We got AMD, another Canopy Growth, I don't know what this is, Tesla, of course, Facebook, Alibaba, Uber, and so forth. But we're just going to look at the top 10. We're going to be looking at a technical point of view. And from that point on, we're just going to have fun with that. So we're going to go ahead and pop this up. This over here, and then over there. So the very first one was the ACD, which is a weed company, a marijuana growth company. Again, a lot of these charts look exactly the same, of opening up really high and then just crashing down and burning down to very low. So we're literally almost at $1.50 again here. That closed on Friday at $1.70. I wouldn't want to touch it with a 10-foot pole. Yes, this could run to $5, $4, but the trend is going down. The only thing I kind of like about this, but it has earnings coming out potentially on the 11th. It's still a question mark. That's kind of weird. This could be a driver to bring it lower. Who knows? We can look at it through some other lenses here. Nothing else is really popping. Here's on a weekly chart. You see it's kind of been range bound between the $12 here. I'm just going to put a alert up here, just if any time in the future it ever gets up there again, we will buy it. And you can kind of see here, it kind of slugged in around these, like, basically pink slip kind of prices here, and kind of it's slowing down here a little bit. On the weekly, it's still kind of curving down. We want to kind of flatten this out, like you can kind of see here, and it consolidates. It's just, if you want to buy 10 shares of it, that's $10 or $15. Go right ahead. This is not going to be something that I want to really be touching, because the trend is totally broken. Alright, so the next stock, oh, I just did that wrong. Let's go to Maxell, and then we're going to hit F for Ford. Ford Motor Company. What are we going to do with these guys? Tesla's just slapping them left and right. Was trying to, and then brought out a electric Mustang or SUV Mustang. I don't know what they're doing over there. This thing has just been beaten up. Horrible earnings, growth. They're closing plants. A couple in Europe and I believe in Germany, I think they actually said. So this is completely in new territory here. So if we bring this out to like a weekly chart, you can see this 200-day or 200 moving average here. It is pointing down on a weekly. Like, let's just bring this up back up to like, this stock has just been going down. Oh, this is 08, 09 over here. This is 15 years. So this goes back to 06. Okay, this company hasn't been doing next to nothing. Like, it's been going on this terrible downtrend basically since like 2013 to 2014. It's just been downtrending, just lower lows, lower lows, lower lows. Kind of basing out here a little bit. I don't know if we're going to touch the dollar limit, but this could be a just an extremely low bar for Ford to get through. Alright, and now then we're going to jump into GE, which a lot of their stuff's going to be, they've been popping off here a little bit lately since this last earnings, and it's broken the trend. You can kind of see here, staying below the 200 here on the daily, breaking above it, staying above it, which we like it, and it's making higher highs here, and it is pushing itself higher, and it's had a great quarter. So is GE back into the flow of things? I think so. You can kind of see here that this built a beautiful base here. Has it run a lot? Depends. It used to be $30 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Can it run up there? For sure. Why not? It's going to hit some overhead resistance around the 13. I'm just going to call it the 1350, where it's currently at, to basically like the 15 to 16 area, because you can kind of see here what happens is all these people who bought in here, like these high volumes here, especially on these earnings here, these are the people who have been holding it, hoping and praying, potentially that the stock just gets up to the level so they can break even. They can just count it as a wash. So it's going to have to kind of chew up a little bit. So I can see it kind of trading sideways a little bit around the 13, 14 level. We're going to put a couple price alerts out here. Also, I don't want to always constantly bring it up, but the coronavirus, who knows what's going on over there. If that's going to dampen any kind of growth. So I'm just making some entry levels here. So this is something that I would like to get into. I know they cut their dividend tremendously. That's what happened here. Yeah, this is, you can see it here. So they used to pay 12 cents, and then they're like, yeah, we can't afford it. Sorry. Then they paid a penny, and that's just when everyone said, "What the f?" And of course, went to 666. Like, is that a sign or what to buy? So that's that. I like it. I kind of like this actually. Something, if I put up the price targets, it's a good thing. So MSFT is next. Is Microsoft. I absolutely love this guy. This thing has just been off to the races. You kind of see here, I kind of wanted to buy in at this level. I didn't. I thought I was going to come down lower here to like the 156. This thing has just been off to the races. Horrible, wonderful story, fantastic growth. It's only going to get better. You can kind of see here on the deviation here. It's max size here. It's way out of its third deviation, so this has to kind of come back to Earth. As you can see here, it did go out of the 3 deviation here. This is on the monthly chart, mind you. The chart, it's out of the 3rd deviation. This can last for a while, and it's lasted for maybe 1, 2, 3, 4 months. This could last for 6, 7 months, sometimes even a year. Like BA did it for a long time. But on the daily chart, it needs to come back a little bit. Like on the daily chart, it usually doesn't stay out too much, but this thing is just so high up here in the sky. It just needs to kind of come down. So I would like to buy this here. I'm going to bring this here. If I don't own any of this, so I'm not going to be aggressive buying it here. I don't like to start a core position when it says like that. But that is a great looking stock though. Alright, next one is GoPro. I don't know how long everyone's been trading here, but I used to trade GoPro. I remember owning GoPro at like $90. Yeah, it was like $95. Like, look at this fall of grace. Not even grace. This is just a slam down the hill, crash biking, burning. Yeah, and just getting. Oh, this is ugly. Because for a while, oh my god, that is an awful looking chart. And you get it's on the weekly. It's still trending lower. Let's look at it on the daily exactly. Because I had an okay, or yeah, kind of gap down on earnings, kind of coming back up. But if you want to, like, I would put, if you want to trade this, I wouldn't invest in this, to be quite honest, because it doesn't, first of all, it's losing money, and I think there's just so many other companies that can do basically what they do. Honestly, the story doesn't really line up. I would keep this on a very short lease if you do trade this, so I would keep it below like the $3.70 here. And then anything break out above like the 4 or something like that, that could be a pretty nice trade to the upside if you keep on a very tight leash. I wouldn't be putting too much capital into this. This might be a nice little quick trade for me, honestly. So we'll play on that because everything's just red on this. This is not a something I want to put money behind. So we can look on the deviation. Yeah, it's not like over exaggerated like here where it could pop back. It's in the second deviation here, so it's consolidating, which is good in a sense. Like it's not continue going down, but it's consolidating, so we have to wait for it to show itself, and then we can make a move. I don't always like to be the first mover. I like to maybe make confirmation. Next one is Fitbit, which I think weren't they being bought by Google? I don't know what's going on here. I don't honestly read the news on that. They definitely need to. Looks like because this is where the thing was announced. They're buying it for $8 or something like that for Fitbit. Again, this thing was like GoPro, guys. This was like $50. Let's go to monthly. Yeah, $51, and it just kind of came crashing down. And it just has been ever since, just a little smudge in the sand. Again, this is the most popular stocks on on Robinhood. So you can kind of see like kind of a pattern here. A lot of the stocks are like $5, $6, $10, $15, but then you have some of the bigger names like Microsoft and Apple, which is the next one is Apple. So that is AAPL. And this thing has been off from the tear too. So this is kind of a main factor of if you're speaking about the coronavirus. We're going to move this marker up. So if it breaks below this, I don't actually sold I think I sold all of it. Yeah, all of our position in a wonderful Apple before this monstrous run, and it's been kind of a regret. I think I sold around 230-ish. Yeah, right around this area. This is on a weekly chart. Like, look at this. Oh yeah, we're not making that many iPhones. We're not going to be putting that in the conference calls or the earnings reports. And yes, iPhones are slowing down. And then everyone's like, oh, that's a value. Okay, they're actually making. Oh, the AirPods are good. Oh, okay. Everyone loves the Apple Watch. Oh wow, this is great. They have services business. Oh, the iPhones are kind of weak. Oh, this is great. And boom, Christmas season, holiday season was fantastic, and then off to the races. Being said, for Apple, this is, if you've ever seen a trending chart on the 21 right here, this is exactly what you're seeing here. It's just coming down to the 21. It's sometimes over exaggerating it, kind of stalling out. This, like, you can call this area here also stalling out, but this could potentially still go higher. So I'm not in it. This is a hard position to kind of get into because it's a $320 stock. But that being said, I'd like to do it. Now we're going to the big cheese, the Mickey Mouse, the Disney. This is something we own quite a substantial position in our portfolio. And we bought some more around the 136 level right before earnings. And it's been it was a great earnings. Like, they added quite a few subscribers to their Disney Plus. Again, the coronavirus, their lack of gonna have to close the Shanghai Disney park and different things, that just scares of their cruise lines and things like that. I think that's just going to be an issue that they're going to have to deal with. But again, this is a long-term hold for my portfolio. That being said, if it comes back down to this level, I'm going to have to watch it with a very close eye. Might have to lighten up a little bit. On the weekly chart, everything looks pretty good. I do want to be careful of this 8 exponential moving average getting too close to the yellow. They can go parallel, but once that guy kind of curls over and starts heading towards the yellow line, I don't like that. And it usually happens fairly fast here. You can kind of see in this area here, it just comes right into it, and then kind of sloops back around, kind of comes into it, sloops back around. Normally that would happen after earnings, but if we have a market downturn or something like that, this just take it to the wayside. So that's my Disney. I'm just kind of keeping that. This is the long-term hold. And then second to the last stock is Snap. This is the Snapchat. This is the social media, whatever they call it, kind of thing, where people share their snaps with their friends and their followers. I don't understand this, honestly. I understand the business behind it, but I don't understand it, like how, because I just know Facebook kind of copies it. Like Instagram, isn't everyone just on Instagram? But I guess the cool kids who are not on Instagram are on Snap. But that being said, it's something that I really don't want to be trading. The 8 crossed into the 21, and it's trending down. So this potentially could come up to like the 1750 to 1775, potentially test it and then flush back down to maybe the 200, because this 200 was quite support quite a few times. You can see here, kind of here, and here. So if you gave me over under if it's going to hit 19 or 14, I would say it's going to probably hit 15 before it hits 19. Alright, and then last but not least, CRON. Another pot stock. Again, this is just like the Aurora Cannabis group, whatever they're called. It's just been trending down. This is a $6 stock compared to $1.50 or whatever the other one was. It's just in no man's land. It's just been beaten up. People are just hoping for a miracle here. That's not what part of my strategy is in investing. Is hoping and praying for a miracle. I like to do the statistical looking at things and just putting money at risk on what I feel that could have the greatest return. That being said, this is something I wouldn't be touching. I know people who trade this and they make good money just trading it intraday and maybe even short-term trades like 2 or 3 days, but this is something that I can't do, and so forth. But that being said, that is the complete list of the top 10 most popular holdings here on Robinhood. If you have any more stocks that you want me to look at, do my technical analysis on, please leave it down below. This is Ken from the Dyslexic Investor. I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Peace.